Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, fair warning, tonight's video might be a bit of a rant from myself. Not that I do these videos very often. It is getting more and more difficult though, with what I'm looking at and all the requests that I'm being sent to look at different performances, but also AI artists and things that aren't exactly as they seem. And what's been interesting is the response from the artists that I've featured on the channel who have been AI artists, meaning that somebody is creating AI images and somebody's creating AI songs and putting those online and not telling everybody clearly that it is AI, but, receiving all of the praise and positive comments about, their voice or their music and all these different things. And what I'm starting to realize is, unbelievably to me, that the people that are creating these AI songs and AI images, they think that what they're doing is being a musician. And I think in tonight's video, I'm just going to discuss my point of view as to, well, first of all, the artists involved weren't honest about what they were doing, and it took a video from myself for them then to totally change everything that they had on the internet to then say, oh yeah, well yeah, it is AI, but it's still my inspiration and my, this, that and the other. So it's almost taken that prod from myself and you guys watching and subscribers for them to then be honest about what they are doing. And what I'm finding is this honesty thing is something that some people just can't deal with. They can't just tell people exactly what they're doing. I guess because it means they're going to have to give up some of those positive comments, and people that are thinking that they are making these songs themselves. I don't know. It's very hard, I guess, for some people to let go of the acclamation and the positivity that they're receiving and all these great comments from people about something that has been produced that isn't you. It's not even your voice. So, yeah, but it's weird the way that it's being rationalized by the people that are setting up these things. And it might just be a younger generation thing, that they don't understand what being a musician is, or being a songwriter is, or being a lyricist, or being a producer, being a mastering engineer. You've got so many different roles that go into making a song, and making a song sound a particular way, and the production that goes into it. And there's loads of people that can be involved with it. The musicians, drummer, bassist, guitarist, keys, whatever you've got in your song. So there are a lot of things that go into it, and when you are genuinely an independent musician and you do those things yourself, it means that you know exactly what's going on with your song, and you've written the lyrics to it. And let's take, for example, somebody's written a song and the song sounds a particular way, and then they use AI to now make their song sound professional. In that particular case, and this is relevant to a video that I did recently, in that particular case, the person, once they've uploaded their song, the AI creation of their song, to YouTube, for example, if somebody were to comment, oh, I love this song and I love the sound, which guitar and amp did you use to get this sound? What is the person going to reply? Well, first of all, they probably won't reply anything if they're not being honest about what they're uploading, but they would have to say, oh, I don't know. AI, question mark? And say, oh, right, so what am I listening to? What is the guitar? And then the response would be AI? And they say, okay, right, well, how did you EQ your vocal? Or what mic did you use, to get the vocal sound in this song? And there'll be the same answer. AI? It's like there aren't any answers. When you're using AI, you don't have this knowledge. Or if somebody else wants to recreate what you've done in the studio, you won't know how to get that sound because it wasn't a sound. You didn't go in the studio. You didn't record it yourself. And, this will go for the whole sound. So it might be the case that the artist has gone into the studio and they've recorded their album or single, whatever it might be, and somebody asks, oh, what mic did you use on this recording? And the artist might not know, but they'll say, oh, I don't know, but here's where I recorded it and here's the producer's email to get all of the information about what was used on the recording. You'll be able to get all of this information, and you might even be able to contact the guitarist and the bassist and the drummer and the people that were actually playing on this particular recording. And you would have all of those answers. Whereas AI, it doesn't give you anything because it isn't anything. It's a random approximation of everything that an AI model has been trained on. It's not going into a studio. And as an artist, when you do that, and even if you do this at home, if you're releasing a song and you've played the bass and the guitar and drums and vocals, you've sung those, done your own harmony vocals, all that kind of stuff, you've produced it yourself and you've done it, you've literally done everything, then you can say, well, yeah, this is my song and I created this. You can't create something by getting something else to create it for you, regardless of how much you might think that you've put into it. And I know that people, the other argument is, oh, I don't have enough money to, get into recording. You don't have to go into a studio. You can do it at home. You can buy mics really inexpensively now, decent condenser mics. And you can get a digital audio workstation for, not very much money at all. If you just saved up for a few months rather than paying the AI subscription, if you just save that money up, you'd be able to get everything that you need. I mean, you don't even need instruments. If you can just get a MIDI keyboard and set that up, or USB keyboard, and then you can use all the software instruments in your digital audio workstation, you can get all this for not very much money at all, and that's how people do it. But it might be the case that they say, oh, the reason I can't do it like that, it's not actually a money issue, it's because they physically can't do it. They can't play an instrument, they can't sing, they haven't worked at these things. So it means that they literally can't create music. So they need something else to create it for them, in which case it's not you doing it, and you know that you're not doing it, because a true artist will know exactly what's going on with their songs, with their... I was just thinking of Prince as the ultimate example. Imagine asking Prince, okay, on this track, what happened with the drums? Which mics did you use? Or, which guitar did you use for this particular guitar solo? He would know everything because it's his artistic vision. And these people that say they've got an artistic vision and everything is them, but it's just created or honed by AI. As soon as you hand it over to something else that's not going to be representative of you as an artist or your sound, you can't claim that's all you, because it's coming up with sounds that you're not making. You don't know the guitar, you don't know the amp, you don't know the microphone, you don't know how anything's been EQ'd. So all of those decisions, all the artistic decisions, have not been made by you. So yeah, and again, this is why producers and mastering engineers are their own entity, and they are people who do those jobs. When you get a great producer, they can make a song sound great because that's their job, and they'll know exactly what they're doing in order to achieve that. But with AI, that's a no one doing anything. It's AI coming up with it. So you get no answers as to how to get that sound because there are no answers. So I don't want this video to go on for too long, or this rant to go on for too long, but I want to reference a video that I did recently, and everyone will know who the artist is or the creator is, whatever you want to refer to them as. I made a video, and after that first video, I mentioned about illegal use of the registered trademark logo and other things about AI images, and about live performances not actually being live and AI thinking other AI is actually real when it wasn't. So anyway, after that video, the person then changed their website so that all the things that I had shown on screen were now changed. And we did get a little bit more honesty, which is great because that's all it's about, just being honest. So on screen we have the landing page, the new landing page for the website of the artist that I featured and analysed, and the one that I've just been referring to. I'm not going to read all of this. You guys can pause the video if you want to read through it, but it's now basically a declaration and trying to clear the air of everything that happened previously and all the things that I pointed out and all the things that have been changed. And what always tends to happen is whenever I do a follow-up video to something that I've done before, it only ever proves my point. And it proves my initial analysis correct. Because if we do rewind, I was asked to just state whether this artist was using AI or not, or whether it was an AI artist. So yeah, I think we've conclusively drawn a line under that and got the answer. But I'm going to read a bit of this because it says, I've always been open about what I do. Well, the only reason this has turned into noise is jealousy. I already have more listeners, and when the day comes for real live concerts, the same people will only get angrier because live shows bring even more success. So nobody's jealous of anything. There's no reason to be jealous because anyone can do this. Anyone can create AI images. Anyone can create AI music and upload it to YouTube and not disclose on other streaming sites that it is AI. It's not a jealousy thing. It's an honesty thing. That's what people want. They want people to tell the truth about what they're doing. And saying, yeah, I've always been open about what I do. Well, my first video absolutely proves that statement incorrect. So it does go on. So I'll just read on a little bit more. Yes, I am preparing to perform all of my songs live, and it will be me, a real red-haired girl. Step by step, everything will become clear. I had plans for a small concert, but right now, I don't yet have the full resources. I'm still learning and growing every single day. And just a quick word on that. You don't need to go out and play shows. You can just perform in front of the camera. And you can upload those videos to YouTube. That's what loads of people are doing. That's how musicians are doing it. That, like I said, all you need to do is just buy a microphone. You can even set up like this and use a backing track to sing over and film yourself singing. It's not difficult. There might be a reason why this particular person, if they are a real artist, there might be a reason why they're not doing it. And it might just be ability level, that they haven't yet practiced enough to feel confident in what they're doing. And again, you can say, well, is that then misleading to make AI songs that are a false representation of you as an artist? So when you go out and perform live, are people going to say, she doesn't sound anything like herself? Because they might think it's you rather than AI. And here I get a personal mention, and honestly, I should even thank Phil, because after all this noise, my streams have grown by almost 40%. They know everything, and deep down, they also know that even if Ella Scott was only music without a face, sooner or later, the red-haired girl will appear and bring these songs to life on stage. That's what scares them most, that this project will keep growing, and these beautiful songs will reach more people. And I mean, if I've managed to make things more transparent, that's all I want. So, you know, you're welcome for me making you more transparent as an artist. But yeah, again, focusing on, oh, you should thank me because your streams have grown by 40%. It's again, I think the focus is wrong. It shouldn't be about how many streams you can get. It's about being honest with the audience, however many people are checking you out or not checking you out. Just start with honesty. And if you're focusing on streams and being, I don't know, popular and trying to be as popular as possible, get as many thumbs up as you can, if you're focusing on that, you're doing it the wrong way round. You should be honest first, and then all of that stuff will come automatically because you're being honest in the first place. It's then when you're not honest and people have hit the thumbs up and given you great comments, and then they find out that you're not actually singing, you're not performing, and it's not you making the noise, it's AI. Now, that's where the problems come. But the other thing, ironically, with this mission statement or whatever it is on this landing page of the website, it proves what I was saying in my video, where I said that the live performances are not live, they're AI creations made to sound live. And we've now got proof, because the person creating this has said, I haven't performed live and I'm going to be in the future, and wait until then, because then people will really start to not like it and be jealous, because more success will come with those live performances. But on YouTube, you've clearly labeled videos as live. So you can say, well, if you say that, you know, going back to that first statement, I've always been open about what I do. And by the way, those videos that were called live on the YouTube channel have now been changed to lifestyle. So it's an AI creation in the style of a live performance. So even that is, you know, he, whoever's doing this has had to change the title of the video because that wasn't really honest. And yeah, this statement is, yeah, just the contradiction that I was talking about in my first video, that it's not honest. Just start with honesty and say, look, this isn't a live performance and I've never performed live. This image of me performing live in front of a crowd it didn't happen. It doesn't exist. And but again, I said earlier in this video, there's this kind of holding on to the lack of honesty for some reason, that, you know, I'll be honest about some things, but I don't really want to be totally honest, because then people might think that I'm not as good as I want to be seen as being, and all these different things. But people will respect you more if you just do it yourself and you don't rely on AI to do things. I mean, I'm assuming that the person's a musician. I'm saying it's so easy to just grab an acoustic guitar and play and sing and film it. And you only need one microphone for that. Or you can use your phone mic. You just press record on it on your phone. So it's so easy to do now. But I think it might come back to the whole journey that I was talking about as a musician. It might be the fact that they've not even made that first step to try to learn to sing or learn to play an instrument. So yeah, I mean, in that case, you think, well, I don't know what you do there other than start learning. Because if you're relying on AI all the time, then yeah, I can't see that ever getting respect from, you know, the educated audience and from musicians, just in general. Because, you know, musicians look at other musicians and have a particular respect for particular ones because of the way that they do things. I don't think any musician looks at somebody who's creating their music with AI and thinks, oh wow, what a great artist that is, and, you know, I'm inspired by the guitar on their AI songs, for example, because you know that person hasn't played that piece of guitar, or their vocal isn't their vocal. So you can't be inspired by something that didn't happen. Another thing that I've just thought of that AI will potentially totally sidestep is writer's block. So you can have this in many different ways as an independent musician, as a songwriter, as an instrumentalist. You can be going through a song and you might have the lyrical content. You've got everything laid out. You know what it's going to be. You've got the tempo. And you just can't get something that fits the way you want it to in the chorus. And you hit this wall, and it takes a very long time for you to then be able to come up with something. And that's when writing a song, you know, doesn't take 10 days. It can take a month. It could take 10 months sometimes if you just get writer's block on a particular song at a particular place. And that's something that every musician and songwriter goes through. And it's very difficult sometimes to kind of get out of that rut. But with AI, you know, you can potentially just get AI to create you loads and loads and loads and loads of different versions of the song. And then you might hear one that you like and you think, oh, I'll just use that, knowing that you didn't create that because you literally couldn't create it. So yeah, I think a lot of people who are using AI aren't necessarily appreciating what AI is doing for them, that there are so many things it's doing for you that ordinarily you just would never be able to do that yourself. Whereas there are musicians and artists who are genuinely going through the process and having to work through all of this stuff that happens as a musician, as a vocalist, artist, whatever you might do. And just as a final point at the end, when they say, meanwhile, they criticize me, that's something that I've never done, because I don't know who the person is. I don't know who the people are. There's nobody here to criticize. All I'm pointing out with my analysis videos is what is happening. And because of what it is, it means that people don't react positively to that because they see it as misleading. So that's not a criticism of whoever's doing this. My criticism is not being honest. It's not a personal attack saying, oh, you're this or you're that, and I think you're getting to name calling or criticizing them personally. I'm saying that this isn't what it is being presented as. It's something else. That's not a criticism. So when I say that what we're looking at is not what it's being presented as or portrayed as, that's just me saying what is happening. That's not resorting to criticism or name calling. I think fundamentally that is what it's seen as by the person doing it, because that's their subjective view, because they know really deep down that they weren't honest. Because when you're talking about art, honesty, openness, transparency is one of the most important things that you have to take care of at all times. If you start to try to mislead people, then yeah, it's going to come back to bite you at some point in the future, unfortunately. So yeah, let me know your thoughts as always in the comments section below. And I mean, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Rock!